Hello, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah if you're new here, and I'm so excited that you joined me today. If I look in disarray, it's probably because I am in hibernation mode, and I am not meaning that lightly at all, because I totally am. Tennessee has finally gotten snow. I'm so excited because I love snow. It doesn't snow very often here in Tennessee, so when it does, like, we lock down. Like, there's nothing open, nobody goes out, everybody stays home, and as your 26-year-old grandma, that's my favorite time. So I thought it would be so fun to do like a cozy winter vlog where we're literally just in hibernation, and we're going to be in all weekend long. I really do not know when we will get back to normal life, because again, when Tennessee gets snow, everything shuts down. So this is Friday when I'm currently filming this, and my district closed today for obvious reasons, and I don't know how long the snow will stick around. I'm hoping for a couple of days at least. But I thought it would be fun for me to bring you along on this cute, cozy, wholesome weekend that I'm about to have. I've got some good reads lined up, and I am so excited about the books I'm going to be reading. The first book that I'm going to try to finish today is Get Away with Murder, and this is by Diane Kelly. This is book number 1 of the Mountain Lodge mystery series. This is all about Misty, and she opens her own inn. And then she's trying to get it off the ground. She's doing okay with it. And then she invites a yoga instructor and her group to come and visit. And the yoga instructor ends up dead. So I've actually gotten to that part just now. I am 116 pages into this one, and I'm really loving this one. I feel like with cozy mysteries, you typically find a cozy mystery that stands out every once in a while. And for me, this one is standing out. So I'm really enjoying this one. Plus, it's like taking place in the Blue Ridge Mountains, which I feel like is a very cozy setting. So I'm really liking that one. And I am so beyond excited to start Little Women. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I have not a clue what I am getting into when I go into this book. I know that there's 4 ladies, and that's it. That's literally all I know. So I'm going into this one completely blind. I've never even watched the movie, so I have no idea what I'm getting into. All I know is that people say that it is a perfect winter read. So we're going to find that out ourselves. So these are the 2 books that I'm going to be focusing on in this vlog, and I'm going to be showing you obviously some of the snow and the cozy things that I get into. And yeah, it's just gonna be a very, very cozy weekend, and I am so excited because I live for times like these where I can just hibernate in my house, watch the beautiful snow, and just be cozy. Let's go ahead and get this weekend started. Good morning. Let's make some biscuits. Good morning. It is Saturday now, and as I showed you, I made some biscuits this morning, and I think I showed you where I made some bread last night, so I'm coming at you with a little bit of an update. So I have officially finished Get Away with Murder. I finished this last night, and I have so many good thoughts about this book. I loved this little cozy mystery. I have always been eyeing this cozy mystery series, but never picked it up until now, and I am so glad that I did. And I'm so glad that I picked it up like right now because it's very snowy outside, and it just feels like the perfect setting to be reading this book. I think I did already tell you what this book was about, but I will tell you this has an element that is very unique. There is a perspective from this cat, and her name is Yeti, and it is so fun to get her perspective throughout the book, because at first you're like, why are we getting the perspective of this cat? And then you realize that sometimes they're dropping hints. So I really loved that. I gave this a 4.5 star. There was a couple of things that I was like, why are you putting this in there? That's kind of random. Like there was talk of like one of the coworkers doing Wicca, and I'm like, why did you have to throw that in there? Like that had nothing to add to the story, but that's just a personal preference. So overall, I really did enjoy this story and will definitely continue in the series. Why, hello there. Fancy seeing you here. I have a couple of things to talk to you about. I, one, do not have a reading update for you because I've been reading this all day. And I promise you, I am filming all of my thoughts and reactions and things like that, but it's not going to be in this video. I'm sorry. But I did today, I'm going to put this away now. I did today go for a walk, and we took Nugget. We walked for a mile. We find that when it's this cold, we can't really walk that long, especially with Nugget. So hopefully when it starts warming up, I will start going for longer walks. But we did at least go move our bodies today. And then tonight we're gonna go celebrate my niece's 2nd birthday. And yeah, so I probably won't get any more reading done. But I promise you tonight, I'm going to read some of Little Women. Okay, so I figured since I'm coming on here to talk to you, I will talk to you about something that I don't think I've mentioned here yet. I've mentioned it in other places, but I've not mentioned it here. So I did want to kind of talk about it. So I have a very set plan for 2025, and I did kind of want to talk about some goals that I have for 2025 and some things that I really want to see my 2025 full of. So let's talk goals, challenges, things we want to learn real quick. A huge goal of mine in 2025 is to slow down. And I mean that in every aspect of my life, my job, my home life, my eating habits, my time I spend in the mornings, like just in every single aspect of my life. When I get with my family, when I'm out with my friends, truly, I want to slow down. My word for 2025 is slowly, because I think that you can apply this to anything. I want to eat slowly. I want to respond slowly. I want to walk slowly. I want to wake up slowly. So things like that. So a couple of things also that I want to do in 2025 is I want to learn things. And I know that sounds like crazy, but I do want to learn so many skills. One of those being how to grow my own food. I know. I really want to start a very small garden in my backyard. It's nothing going to be crazy, but I really do want to start growing my own food, some fruits and vegetables, just starting small until I get my bearings and get used to it. That is definitely something I want to learn how to do. Something else that I would like to share with you that I'm learning in 2025 so far is a great way to slow down is to stop and listen to people, and not just anybody, which you should listen to people. Like, you should not just listen to respond. A personal goal of mine this year is to seek wisdom and guidance from people who are older than me. I know that a lot of people, especially in their 20s, are like, I've got it figured out and I just want to figure it out by myself. But I find that the older that I get, I don't want to figure it out by myself, and I'm okay with not knowing something and asking for help. And that is a big thing that I want to do in 2025, is to like just find guidance from other people that have lived it. For example, I have no idea, zero idea how to start a garden. And at first I started going on to YouTube and Instagram and Google and just finding all of these different things out. And you can kind of find that a little overwhelming, to be honest, because everybody does it a different way. And I started thinking, like, Hannah, 60% of the adults in your life have raised a garden. And then I was like, why don't I just ask them? Like, why don't I just ask them for guidance and help with it? And every time that I ask, like, I would find myself just being like, so did you raise a garden as a kid? Or how did you guys raise a garden when you were growing up? And every time I did that, they were usually like, they would tell me, and then they would start sharing stories and guidance and wisdom and just all things good with me. And I would be sitting there like dumbstruck because of all the things I didn't know. And these are people that I'm supposed to be close to. My parents, my grandparents, my husband's grandparents. Like, these are people that I'm supposed to know these things, and I don't. So it really showed me how we're so busy and we've got all these distractions going on, and there's people sitting right in front of us that know all of these things and have these life stories that we never ask them. Like, tell me about your childhood. So that is definitely something that I want to incorporate more in 2025, is to just simply slow down and listen to those that I don't sometimes takes the time for. All right, so that's just some 2025 goals that I have. I'm sorry it's not a reading update, but I figured we would just come on and chat about goals that we have. I definitely don't want to like discourage myself or beat myself up if some of it doesn't happen. I do want to strive towards these goals, though. I feel like they're pretty simple and things that I could definitely get done. So let me know something down below. What is your goal or goals for 2025? All right, loves, I'm sorry it's not a reading update. I promise I will eventually come on here with a reading update because I have been reading. Okay, this is going well. That's all you should know. I will see you when I see you. Hello. Happy day 47 of snow. Okay, so listen, I promise you I have been changing sweatshirts, okay? But this has just been what I've been living in for the past 6 days. If you guys didn't know, I have Velcro dogs that can't spend 5... They can't spend 5 seconds. Stop it! Okay. If you guys didn't know, I have Velcro dogs that can't spend 5 seconds without me. So they are here. They're present. Also, I meant to tell you this yesterday. If you notice something on my face, on my lip, and you're like, Kenna, what the heck is on your lip? Just know that I have a fever blister, cold sore, whatever you want to call it. My immune system is like freaking out about everything that's going on right now. If you don't deal with these, then how does it feel to have a great life? Also, I have a vision for my vlogs from now on because I am all for a cozy aesthetic vlog. I love to watch those, but I find that the vlogs that I watch the most, especially like if I need it, are vlogs where I feel like we're literally just on FaceTime, where you're just talking to me about your life, where you're just talking to me about what you're doing and just taking me along with your real life. And I want to be that for someone. Like, I want to just come on here and just talk and just share my real life with you. So showing you that I deal with these horrible fever blisters and I'm sitting in the middle of my library floor. What more life can I give you? Let's just talk. I do not have much of a reading update. Actually, I do. I haven't read any more of Little Women yet, but I told you guys at the beginning of this video that I was going to take my time with that one. I'm not going to really rush into it. I'm not going to rush it. I have plenty of time. I'm going to just take my time with it. I probably read it tonight before I go to bed. So let me tell you what I got into today. So this was the first day that we were actually like able to go places. Casey went back to work, and fortunately I had another snow day. We have a lot of back roads in our district that do not allow us to go on those roads with buses. So I don't know if we'll be out tomorrow. Most of the snow has melted by now, but some of the back roads are still pretty rough. So I don't know. We may get out tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure. But today I actually got out and did a few errands that we needed done. I went and paid some bills, and then I went and picked up some stuff that we needed. This guy needed some food, even though you need to get a job and help us pay for that. He won't come and say hello to you. How rude. You're being rude. I got him. Say hello. Okay, just say hello for a second, and then you can go back. Say hello. Oh, say hello. Hello, beautiful people. He's like, Mom, I want my toy. I do not want to be in this predicament right now. So I just went out and did a few things that needed to be done. And then I ended up going for a walk this afternoon. I walked about 2.5 miles, which I walked for an hour. And I love long walks. I just never get to really take them. And that is another goal that I have for 2025 is to incorporate more walks into my daily life because I love going for walks. I think it's really good for the mental health and it's also really good for your physical health. So I really want to incorporate more walks. So I did that, and while I was on my walk, I started listening to this book, Death by Dumpling, which is a unofficial buddy read that we are doing with Comfy Cozy. We're reading through this whole entire series this year. I have already read this one, but I wanted to refresh my brain before going into the rest of the books. So yeah, I'm listening to that. I'm really enjoying it, actually. If you listen to this one like on 1 or 1.5, her voice is terrible. I'm sorry. No shame whatsoever to her, but her voice is terrible. But I am listening to it on like 2.5, so it's not as bad. So just a forewarning if you go into this series. So I got about 40% of the way through Death by Dumpling, which is pretty darn good. And I'm hoping to continue that as I work throughout the house today. So it is currently 2:46 when I am filming this right now. And so I have a little while before Casey gets off from work. And so I think what I'm going to do with that time is that I'm going to unhaul some of my books. I really need to get rid of some books. Plus I'm taking another trip to McKay's. So I need to like get some store credit built back up. And plus, you guys can't see it, but on this shelf right here, I have all of the books that I acquired for my birthday. And I have no earthly clue how I'm going to put those books in this shelf. So I need to make some room for those books. Also, I have a goal for my TBRs for the rest of the year. You know how I used to do, I like maybe did 2 or 3 videos with this, but it was like a BB-8 and it had a bunch of prompts in it. And I pulled one out and I like the TBR prompts, I do, but I find that I am not reading a lot of books on my shelves. I'm going out and buying books before I read the books on my shelf. And I'm kind of over that, to be honest. So what I'm gonna do, literally, these are all prompts that I used to do. Get out of there. I did not expect there to be that much in there. I just made a mess. Okay, anyway, it's empty now. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to fill this back up with little papers like this that have the book titles of each book on my shelf. So some of them actually already have the book titles on there. I don't know if you guys can see this one. It says One of Us Is Next. I think I probably had this idea at one time and just stuck them all together. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start from scratch and I'm just gonna literally write, after I unhaul, that's the important thing. After I unhaul some books, which I am getting rid of some books, guys. You heard it here first, folks. I'm getting rid of some books today. So after I do that, I am probably going to take some time this evening to write down every single book title that I own and put it in my BB-8. So that when I do my monthly TBRs and I tell you all the books that I'm going to read, at the end of it, I'm going to pull 1 or 2 or 3 books out of here to also add to my TBR, just so I know that I am not keeping books on my shelves for 4, 5, 70 years, okay? But I do know that I'm going to bake something tonight. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to bake yet. I have some oranges that I don't want to go bad, so I'm going to make an orange cake, and then I have to make some, I'm going to make some brownies for Casey's work. That's probably going to be the last thing in this video, is me showing you how to make those brownies. So yeah, so I'm going to get to unhauling, and I'm going to share the stack of books that I'm going to unhaul with you. I already have a ton that I'm going to take to McKay's that are already out in my car. Please don't make me go get them. I will just show you the stack that I acquired today. How about that? That is the plan. So I will eventually talk to you again. I'll probably come on here and show you the books that I am going to unhaul. That's all for now, and I will talk to you in just a minute. All right, we're going to rapid fire this thing. We're going to go through the books that I am getting rid of, and these are not counting the ones that are already in my car. So some of these are hurting because at one point or another I was excited about these books, but I'm just not interested in some of these anymore. And you're going to find a common theme. A lot of them are middle grade. A lot of them are romances that I just have no desire whatsoever to read them, and so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to do rapid fire. So I'm not going to tell you what they're about. I'm just going to tell you like what they are and why I'm getting rid of it. The Good Sister by Sally Hepworth. I've gone back and forth on keeping this on my shelves, and I really did enjoy this book. However, I just didn't love it enough to justify keeping it on my shelf forever and ever and ever. I think it was a good book, and I'm just going to pass it on to someone for them to enjoy. Front Desk, which is a middle grade. Sisters, which is a middle grade graphic novel. Hotel Magnifique, which is also a middle grade that I just have no desire whatsoever to read it. I even tried to get the sticker off, which I should probably try and get the sticker off before I take it. Okay, my battery died, so we're back. This is a series that I really went back and forth on, but I just really have no desire to read these anymore. And for the content alone, I'm not into it. I'm not going to go back into it. And that is the Addicted series by Krista and Becca Ritchie. The first one I did read, and it's called Addicted to You. These are pretty heavy open door romances that have to do with addiction. So it is a very heavy romance, and a lot of people swear by this entire series, and I really just got influenced by the hype of all of them. I'm to the point now where I am very comfortable and knowing of my reading taste, and these just don't make the cut. Next is The Plot And I went back and forth on this one too because I really do like the synopsis of this one, but I haven't picked it up in like a couple of years. So it's going. Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I am just not interested in Ali Hazelwood any longer. I do want to try Bride. I do have Bride up on the very top shelf. So we'll see how I like that one, but I'm not interested in this one. Next is the first book of the Keeper of the Lost Cities series. I had every intentions of going into this series. I believe it's a middle grade, and I'm just not interested. Speaking of romances that I do not want to read any longer, which this one kind of hurts because I was obsessed with the first 3 books in this series, and I was so excited for these to come out, and I actually went and picked up them like as they came out. And that is the Never After novels, Twisted and Crossed. These are Disney reimaginings, but they are dark romance. And there was a time in my reading journey that I was just reading anything, and I did pick up the first 3 books, and I really liked the first one. It was about Peter Pan, like it was a Peter Pan retelling, reimagining romance, but I just don't read stuff like this anymore. I do like a good deep romance, but I don't like a good dark romance, so these are going on the stack. A couple of middle grade that I'm going to get rid of. The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I have been interested in Neil Gaiman books for a while now, but this one I have not even gravitated towards, so it's going in the pile. Next is Amari and the Night Brothers. Again, I've heard really good things about this book. I feel like I got influenced with this one too. A lot of people were picking it up and loving it, but again, I have not reached for it in a long time, so it's going. Next is a horror novel, and that's Bird Box. I believe they made a Netflix show about Bird Box that I have not seen, and I picked this up thinking that I was going to read a Josh Malerman, and I do like horror, but this has been on my shelf for too long. If you've read this book, let me know if you think I would like it. I'm just not super interested. And I feel like Josh Malerman, if I'm going to start with another one of his, I think I would do like, there's one with water on the cover. I feel like I would start with that one and not this one. Next, another couple of middle grade that I am going to get off my shelf. I just don't read middle grade anymore. And that is The Girl Who Drank the Moon. Heard really good things about this one. It was a John Newbery Medal Award winner. And then we've got When You Trap a Tiger, Legend Born, which I've heard really good things about, but I just don't read. I think that one's actually YA, which I did kind of look at this one before I put it in the pile. I don't think so. The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise. This cover drew me in, I feel like, but again, don't read a lot of middle grade any longer. The House with Chicken Legs. And then Drama, which is another middle grade graphic novel. I'm also getting rid of The Lightning Thief. I know. I am getting rid of the first 2 books of Percy Jackson. The first one is already in the other pile, and this is the second one, and I just, okay. If you think I should read this series, let me know, but I really don't have, I don't want to say I don't have time for it, but I also am trying to already read Harry Potter, and I'm already trying to read a lot of different series that I want to get under my belt, and this just isn't one of them. And then last, we're getting rid of The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I really liked this book. I didn't think that there was anything wrong with it. However, I didn't love it enough to keep it on my shelf. So it's going. That is a lot of books, and I'm sorry that was rapid fire, but that's a lot of books. So I'm going to take all those to McKay's so I can get store credit, because I like building up my store credit and using it over time, just whenever I go in there, because like I would say 85% of my books come from McKay's, which if you don't know, that is a used bookstore by me, so I go there quite often. And you can actually find a lot of good titles there. Obviously, I'm giving a really great titles to McKay's, so you can really find good books there. So that is where I'm going to take those. I feel very accomplished that I have those off my shelves now, and I have room for my other books. So I am not getting rid of any cozy mysteries because I am interested in all of the cozy mysteries that I have on my shelf. I may eventually go through them after I write them down and see how that goes for the first couple months. But as of right now, I feel interested in reading all of those. So Like I said, I'm going to go through literally all of my books tonight, and I am going to write down every single title that is on my physical TBR, and I'm going to put it in BB-8, which I do not have with me right now. He's in the kitchen, but I'm going to put all of those titles in BB-8, and then we'll draw 2 or 3 when I do my monthly TBRs. So that way I am for sure reading the books on my shelf, and we don't have books that are just sitting there. Right now I have a headache, and I think it's because I have not really drank a lot or eaten today. I ate like a granola bar this morning, and that's about it. So I'm gonna go eat something, drink some water, and then we will go from there.